It's the start of the new week. Let's go into some weekly candle analysis. Hello Adrian, and welcome back to another episode of the Dang Oracle. It is 7:30 p.m. UTC plus 8 is my time zone, and welcome everybody who is watching around the world. First of all, let me say happy Monday, the first day of the week, and my God, I was hoping that we would see a little bit of action, or at least a little bit more action after actually the most action that we have seen yesterday. Yesterday was actually more eventful than today, and yeah, sadly enough, still no resolution, still nothing really going on right now. But we still have some weekly candle analysis to go over. So before that, let me welcome the hardcore crew, of course, as always. Hi John, hi Zaldi, hi Darren, hi Michael. Hope you are doing well on this Monday. And before that, the rest of the crew is trickling in. Let's take a look at some COVID numbers. Let's see if anything is different. The US, we are now at over 3.3 million cases. Wow, that is substantial. Hi Lex. And Brazil, we are at over 1.8 million cases. India and Russia, well, Russia is slowing a little bit down now. India is going up higher, nearing towards the 1 million cases right now. Hi Nikolai. And let's take a look on how it looks on the charts, right? And the total confirmed cases, are we over the 13 million? No, we are not over the 13 million. We are near that. We are near 12.9 million cases. Of course, nothing in the other countries, in all the top countries, have changed that much. Everything still looks pretty bad on that area. Yes, Nikolai, Chainlink is fire. Well, talking about Chainlink, let's take a quick look on Chainlink immediately. And here we go. If you saw my areas that I was very interested in, as I told you, if we do break out of this 1.414 fib extension, I told you guys this is the area to be looking at. My favorite 1.618 fib area, or around the $8.5 area, and that's basically where we're at, right? And then of course there will be some push back down from that area on that end. Hi Henry. But yeah, like I said, we are still in major price discovery mode. So do I think that we will completely break down from this spot here? Maybe it's possible that we create some sort of like a blow off top structure. We do have a pretty high RSI right now on the top side, but does that mean that that it is over? Well, not necessarily. Let's take a quick look on the 4 hour. No, 4 hours still looks quite constructive, to be honest. So a small pullback, and maybe we go up higher one more time. Who knows, right? So things are still looking okay, to be honest. But yeah, of course, at one point it's gonna make a real pullback. But like I said, for the people who have Chainlink, or who are interested in Chainlink, the $8.5 level was really the one of the areas that I was aiming at, and that I was really looking at from the last time that I was looking at Chainlink. But like I said, at one point, at one point the market is going to make a correction, and the fun will be over, right? So don't expect this to keep going up all the time. I think a 1.618 fib extension usually is a very extended an extended fib line already. So I would be very careful at this point in time with Chainlink. But even on the lower time frames, it's still looking good. It's no structural damage or anything like that at all for now. So do we go back up after taking a little breather? Maybe, who knows? Kind of depends on kind of depends on how things go with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin keeps on going sideways, then yeah, then altcoins are gonna keep rallying and basically doing the good stuff, right? While BTC is being basically a little chicken. To be honest, I have been bored out of my mind trading Bitcoin for the past couple of weeks. It has been crazy. It has been crazy, so boring. But anyway, hi Alto, hi Tina, hi Jason, hi Gita. Welcome as well. Hi Laxman. What do you mean consider fundamental, Laxman? I don't know what you mean with fundamental. Anyways, so yeah, Chainlink is doing really well because, of course, if we are taking a look at the Bitcoin dominance, I don't know what happened here though. This super insane wick towards the downside. I don't know if it's correct or not. Maybe it's some error in the market cap calculation by TradingView. It's something very weird. So I don't really pay attention to this one here. So oh, interesting. So I just refreshed and it's gone, the long wick towards the downside. So apparently it was some error in TradingView. But anyways, as you can see, we still are going down in the market cap, right? So yeah, as long as that as we keep on doing that, then it's really positive for the altcoins, right? Can we see some formation? Do we see some formation? Do we see a channel that is being formed or something like that? Not really a channel. Maybe a broadening wedge, I guess, something like that. A broadening wedge, falling broadening wedge, something like this. But yeah, the Bitcoin dominance chart has been not really the chart to be charting. It has been pretty annoying to be charting. So I wouldn't put too much onto this. But it looks like, yeah, some sort of like a falling broadening wedge that is being formed. It looks like it wants to drop more. So altcoins are still going to be partying for now. Until it breaks towards the upside, of course. So yeah, yeah, alts are doing pretty well. So if you guys are doing holding alts or doing alt trading, you should be making a nice amount of money. I don't do much trading in alts, so for me, I don't even own Link. So and I've been telling Link, I think for forever that the chart looks really good, but I've never acted upon it myself. Like I said, I really have very little interest in short-term games on altcoins and so on. So not really interested myself in it, but I do follow it, or I do check it out once a while, and I do, you know, if people are asking me about altcoins, I do take a look over the chart. But yeah, at one point, like I said, at one point the market dominance is gonna be switching over, and then then altcoins are gonna be dying. Yes, Nikolai, I did trade alts before during the 2017. That's when I traded alts basically. I did a lot of altcoins on what was it? Before Bittrex. Yeah, that was the exchange. That was the exchange to be trading altcoins before. When now it's not that popular anymore, that exchange. But that's where I traded quite a lot of altcoins back in the good old days when ICOs were popping and everything was doing really well in terms of ICOs and stuff like that. But of course, I kind of, you know, when I saw that ICO hype, of course you were riding that ICO hype, but you know, I kind of expected that it would dump at one point, really hardcore, while a lot of people are saying like, well, let's just hold on and wait 4 or 5 years and stuff like that. Sure, good for you if you really truly believe in that project. But myself, I am, like I said, I am an entrepreneur myself. I've created my own companies before. I've run my own companies before. I still own companies right now, and I know that it's just very hard to be successful in the long run, right? And it's easy to create hype, but it's very hard to maintain a long-lasting result. So I kind of was expecting like, well, I always consider altcoins or ICOs startups, and we all know that 95% of all startups basically fail, and only 5% or something like that become successful or maintain their position, right? So that's the reason why I was trading it, but basically to be stacking more Bitcoin rather than anything else, and how to and it was basically just to be increasing my Bitcoin portfolio. But for the past year and a half or something like that, have zero interest in trading any altcoins nowadays. And but yeah, of course, now everybody is hyped again because we got a little push, but overall it's nowhere near the push. If you were in if you were around in 2017, that was the time to be living in, you know, for altcoins. That was the time to be living in. We saw well, new investors in the crypto and they see the price and it scares them. That's not really true. Like new investors are way like, people are way more smarter nowadays than anything else. It has nothing really to do with low cost entries or anything like that. People are way smarter now. I mean, that could have been the case, let's say, a year ago or a year and a half ago, but now it's definitely not the case anymore. People right now, to be honest, right now, why are the altcoins pumping? It's because people are bored. That's really I mean, it sounds silly, but that's just how it is. It's really Bitcoin traders are bored, so they push altcoins, and the smarter top ICO coins are making use of very good marketing campaigns, like, for example, using TikTok, which is the platform right now that is having so much hype, right? So Dogecoin did a TikTok campaign. Link just did a TikTok campaign using a bunch of like big influencers on TikTok. So that's the reason why it's being really hyped. It's a good time to be doing that as well, right? Because Bitcoin is ranging and the whole global market, stock market, investment market is growing. So that's very smart of those people, right? So yeah, hi Sabri, hope you're doing well as well. A lot of altcoins died, yeah, of course. I mean, it's normal, right? I mean, like I said, if you're looking at but dying is dying is a big word. Most of the time they just become like a dead heartbeat chart. It's still being traded, but it's like at absolutely super low levels, and it would take forever to be recovering back to the, even I'm not even talking about profit, I'm just talking about ICO price. So most ICOs are like minus 90%, minus 95% in comparison with their ICO price. So yeah, like XRP. I think XRP, the owners, well, the founders of XRP are just exiting that ICO. I mean, you can clearly see every month they try to dump like a 500k onto the market. It's been if you are looking at the transfers, it's been like that every month now. So every month there's like 500,000 that's being dumped up on the market. I don't know where the money is going to and so on, but it has been systematically like that. So yeah, I'm doing quite well. Well, to be honest, it has been really fun trading the traditional markets. That has been the most fun. But yeah, I'm still, of course, a big fan of crypto. So when I have to, give out content on cryptocurrency, it's a little bit boring, I guess. But in terms of the traditional markets, things have been crazy. It's really crazy. So let's go into the traditional markets. Yes, we have created another all-time high for NASDAQ, and I've told you guys, I do believe that we will be getting towards the around the 11,000 area. That was my measured move of the inverse head and shoulders that we have been forming, and as you can see, we are now at 10,932. So we are we're getting we're getting nearer and nearer towards that area. So I do expect, well, you know, expecting is a bad thing for a trader, right? But I do believe that 11,000 is a nice psychological level. So maybe we will get a pullback from there. Maybe. I'm not. There's no things as certainty. We do see that, you know, stocks are getting getting really high up there, as well as RSI. Well, RSI is this is actually really constructive, RSI on the 4-hour. But let's take a look on the higher time frames. Of course, high time frames, as you can see, stocks are insanely high on the daily, very high as well on the RSI. Let's take a look on the weekly. Crazy. If you start looking at the weeklies on traditional market, that means, you know, that means that the bull run is going insane. And as you can see here, weekly stocks are still up there, all the way up there. We do get the sentiment, like I said, it's starting to become flashing green on the back end. So, you know, yeah, it's getting up there, right? It's getting up there. So at one point, we will make a pullback, right? We will make a pullback. When is that going to be happening? Well, I kind of believe that you know, around 11,000 could be a nice number. Yes, Sabri. It's actually the quantitative easing is actually a side effect of things. You know, they're not actually printing, right? They're just putting more credit and more liquidity into the market. The whole push is basically because of retail. So during the lockdown, retail had nothing to do. They were receiving money. They needed a way to find to put their money somewhere and invest in something, and that's why the main reason is really because of retail. That we are getting this push on the traditional market. If you are looking at traditional exchanges, for the past 2 months, the new accounts that has been created by retailers is over 2 million. Meaning, can you imagine? So suddenly the market has 2 million retail traditional market traders that is just coming onto the market, and of course they only buy, like, for example, the big stocks, right? The tech stocks, the, you know, the most the ones that have a lot of you know, makes a lot of noise on the market and so on. So for example, Tesla went super crazy, right? Like I mean, those are the stocks that just went crazy. But like I said, this traditional market feels very similar to crypto, to Bitcoin in 2017. Very similar bull run, and at one point it will have that blow off top, and that'll be it, right? But one of the key things that I have been looking at is, of course, the FAD assets, right? And as we can see, since the 1st of June, we can see that the federal the total assets, as you can see, is starting to wane down. So the FAD is actually starting to lower their amount of purchases and their FAD total assets. So like I said, it will start to affect the markets, right? So the more that they will push, they will sell off their assets. But right now it's being held up, right? Right now there's still so much hype, and everybody and their mother is opening opening exchange accounts and buying stocks right now. Everybody. But the same thing happened, as you know, before with Bitcoin as well, right? In 2017, when we went to like 20,000, we had all the craziest people, you know, coming in. When during that run, I was like, well, I thought 15,000 was the top, but it went all the way to 20,000. So could be this very similar thing, right? At this point in time, I'm thinking like, well, I think 11,000 is a nice number, but you know, it could easily go to 12,000 or 13,000, right? When we are, like I said, when we are in the price discovery mode, it's very hard to be finding the top until we see a major break into the macro trend. Then we can see that the signs that the top is being formed or anything like that. But for now, Yeah, it's still ongoing, and like I said, if we are looking at the monthly, this is the monthly, this is the monthly that we are following. But at one point, like I said, I already put my green box there. At one point, it's going to make that drop, crazy drop towards like I said, around the 9,000 is what I am expecting that we will have a pullback to, and then a lot of retails are going to be crying and being sad that they did not take profits when things were going so well. But for now, I mean, just take a look at the weekly. It was nothing bad can be said, right? Look at this weekly as well. Yeah, this looks like a continuation, right? Sabri, of course. So retail will always be the people that are holding the hot potato. So you can just assume whenever there's like a lot of hype, a lot of retail, those are the people who will going to get hurt the most. That's how the trading cycle of fear and greed works, right? So you will always have people who are going to be holding the hot potato. Like, for example, 2 years ago, all these people who entered the ICOs, there are still people who are holding these ICOs, who these tokens. Imagine XRP was like over $1, and now it's like 0. Whatever cents or something like that, right? There are still people who are holding on and still hoping that XRP is going to be going back above $1 or something like that, right? Good luck, right? Good luck, guys. But yeah, so many people are going to be holding expensive stocks. That's just how trading works, right? That's basically how the economy works. To be honest, it's nothing new. So yeah. Anyways, yeah. So traditional market is doing really well. The problem is, like I said in my video yesterday as well. So while the whole world is actually the whole world's stock market everywhere in the world is doing well, Bitcoin has been very stagnating, and that's what concerns me in when it comes in terms of like looking at the strength of a particular asset, right? So but anyways, let's go back into Bitcoin and go into where we left off yesterday. So let's go into the shorter time frame. So yesterday I was saying like, well, I'm just gonna put in some scam orders at like 9,350, 9,380. Those are the two numbers that I put out, and as you can see, we wicked up as you can see quickly at 9,353. So I got my position filled at 9,350. And as you can see, crazy push towards the downside immediately after. It was like in 5 minutes or something like that. So I was like thinking, well, this looks pretty good for my short. But then on the other hand, then you can when it was near here to one of the critical areas at 9,160, it quickly pushed back up inside this wedge that I've drawn. So I was like, well, this doesn't look good once again in terms of like my short. So I exited my short when we were pumping up around to like above the EMA 55, around 9,230 ish or something like that. So I took a scalp basically. I was hoping that it would be better than a scalp, but I took profits at around for around $120 spread or something like that. And right now, things are still looking pretty much the same, right? We are still stuck in this range of like 9.3K, between 9.3K. So basically everything that I've said yesterday is still valid for today. What am I looking for? Well, do we break this range towards the upside where we start closing candles above 9,450, or do we break towards the downside once again? And that's basically what we are looking at, right? This is what we're seeing right now. So if we are looking at the daily candle right now, it doesn't look that bad. It doesn't look that bad, right? It doesn't look that bad. So maybe we get a push once more time towards the upside. I I will still short it. That's nothing has changed for me. So I'm still looking for 9,350, 9,380, even 9,400. It's definitely possible that we wick up all the way there. And once again, it's for me, it's quite easy to be the risk management is quite safe, because, well, if we do break above this green box and close a candle above it, I can switch it into a long and then aim towards the next green box here towards the upside around 9.750, 9.8k. Even it can even go all the way up to 9.9k. It would not surprise me at all, because it has been in this triangle for quite some time as well, right? So yeah, nothing changed much. So still waiting right now. Took some profits, still waiting for some position to be filled in around those areas that I've mentioned. And on the other hand, if we don't wick up there, well, we are just looking towards the downside. If we do break below, there's two key areas. Like I said, a candle close below the 9k, that would definitely be very, very bearish, because we would be creating a lower low. And a wick below the 8.9k, or this red line, of course, that would be very bearish as well, and that would be a market short for me as well when we get to that point. At this time and point, we are still in this triangle, and yeah, it's just a waiting game right now. Do we break towards the upside, or do we break towards the downside? But on the other hand, well, as you can see, we are very, 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 very near this this end of this apex. So we should get a resolution within this week, right? I mean, I hope so. Anyways, if we are looking for if we're looking at the HMoka Cloud, we can also see this one here. As you can see, there's a possibility, if we don't hold this this line, of course, there's a possibility that we are going to be breaking down and out of this HMoka Cloud towards the downside. But of course, if the price does this, wicks up towards the 9.4k, it can once again go sideways again for another 3-4 days, and then break down or break up. Of course, it can also break up, right? So it can do this as well. So it could go sideways even more. Yes, it could, Nikolai. Of course, that's what it has been doing. So it would not surprise me if it keeps on doing that as well. But the thing is, we do have to understand that at one point it's going to be explosive, because the volatility has been so insanely low. So at one point it's going to be contracting, and it's gonna be boom, and it's gonna make a big move, right? So it's just yeah, the waiting game is on, and we are pretty much exactly where we are at, as I've said, right? So other than that, yeah, very, very little to be saying, right? The ADX is still, as you can see, it is below, it's below 20. It's at 19.5 right now. So no real movement. It's still a little bit more bearish than bullish, as you can see, because the red line is still above the green line. So yeah, that's basically it. So this one, do we break one more push up towards the upside and then break down? Possible. Do we immediately break out of this out of this apex? That's good. If it breaks up or it breaks down, it's not good for alts in terms of like a BTC pairing. Sideways is very good for alts. So if Bitcoin does move sideways, more sideways, that's really good for alts. And yeah, it could take another couple of days, right? So moon party for the altcoin, it's very possible, right? Anyways, so what are we looking for in the very, very short run, short term? But the ranges are so tight, right? So I would not, it's very hard to be trading this type of ranges. It's really not advisable at all to be trading this type of ranges, to be honest. But anyways, on the short term, as you can see, everything is holding and above, all moving. Oh, we get a big move. We get a big move. Do we break the 9.4k? And we get immediately we got brought back down again. 1 second, I got my position that got filled. So yeah, I'm back in a short once again. I'm back in a short once again. My short got filled at 9,350. Like I said, it didn't get filled at 9,380. That's a bit sad. So it got up to 9,378, I guess, right? 9,378. Yeah. So I got filled. I'm back in a short once again. Yes. I keep being back in a short all the time. So I'm back in a short once again. Is that the push? Is that the push that then finally we break down? Maybe, you know, who knows? But yeah, as you can see, we tried to break out of this this triangle once again. But once again, it really looks like we are getting rejected once again. You know? Looks like we're getting rejected. Anyways, on the RSI, this is basically what we are seeing, right? So it's a beautiful downwards channel on the RSI. As you can see, either we break up or we break down from this. That will basically tell us where we're going, right? Ah, yes, a beautiful scam wick, beautiful scam wick. But it did fill my short position, right? So that's the reason why you should just be calm and collective and see how things go. But yeah, like I said, I do believe that it's very hard and annoying that it goes so much sideways. But on the other hand, the risk management is very well defined. So there's very little risk at stake. So you have to look at that way as well, right? So. But anyways, back in a short at 9,350, and let's see if we finally do break any of the key zones. To be honest, I doubt it. Once again, I doubt it until the traditional markets basically make it pull back, or else, you know, I don't think we will see that much difference, right? But it's supposed to be happening pretty soon. If we are looking at this at this apex here, and if we are looking at, like I said, the HMoka Cloud, there's a valid possibility that over the next day, tomorrow, next day, basically, that we could be breaking down and out of this HMoka Cloud, right? That would be something, right? That would be finally something that we're getting. Anyways, since it's over 8 o'clock, let's take a look on the expected move charts, and maybe they are telling us something. First standard deviation to the upside is 9,374 or 75. That doesn't really break anything of our ranges, sadly enough. The first standard deviation to the downside is 9,207. Doesn't really break any formation structure towards the downside as well, though. But you know, it's a step. As you can see, the slope is a little bit curled towards the downside, so the probability that we're going down more is a little bit higher than up. Let's take a look on the Stokes. The 12-hour Stokes are still curling down, as you can see. So like I said, now we are starting to see more and more confirmation of the pressure towards the downside, because the Stokes or the momentum is being pushed more and more nearer towards the bearish control area. Rather, I mean, this is still neutral area, of course, right? But it's getting further and further away from the bullish area. Let's take a look on the RSI. RSI is still above the EMA, but it will be crossing down if we cross down 9,277 on the next 12-hour candle close. Let's take a look on the daily. Yesterday we saw that the daily was starting to curl a little bit to the downside. It has not confirmed just yet, right? So tomorrow at 8 o'clock, when we have a daily candle close, if we close lower, then of course more momentum is going to be pushing towards the downside. And let's take a look on the RSI. Very similar, as you can see, the cross towards the downside, now 9,250 on that area. Let's take a look on the short term. 4 hour is still curled towards the upside, but yeah, as you can see, very near one of the resistance area. So this is actually could be potentially a test already of that resistance, and we could be potentially curling towards the downside in the short run. But maybe we still have another push towards the upside. It seems we still have a little bit of more space to be going towards the upside, right? So To be honest, once again, this candle doesn't. I mean, these candles that we have seen here from yesterday and now today once again, that doesn't look very good. That doesn't look very good for the bulls, to be honest. Anyways, actually, I wanted to talk to you guys about the weekly candle close. So we haven't done that just yet, and we already went into all the expected move charts because well, basically this is what happened. We closed the candle just inside our range of like 9.3 and 8.9k. So basically nothing happened with that weekly candle closed, and that's the reason why it was a very annoying candle close. Once again, we did close above the 10 simple moving average on a weekly, so that's a bad thing. Like I said, this this Stokes towards the downside on the weekly is something that I cannot avoid, right? On the RSI, we can clearly see that a little push towards the downside, as you can see, a little push. I mean, but there's still chance, of course, that it can touch the EMA one more time and then break out of this zone, and then we will have a nice pump towards the upside, right? So everything is very close. But the problem is, like I said, if this doesn't start curling towards the upside, we don't have the momentum to be breaking once again outside of that very strong resistance, and that's what worries me the most. And this is while everything in the world is rallying, everything is going up, right? So yeah, it's just not good. It's just not good in terms of like the strength for the asset itself. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, we are still in this range. Nothing is concluded just yet. But yeah, my my perspective has been the same for the past 2 weeks. I've been trying to short it, and then a little bit of profits here and there. Got stopped out a couple of times as well. So it has been a very pretty boring trade in terms of a trading perspective. Boring couple of weeks for Bitcoin. On traditional markets, it has been way more fun. That's true. But other than that, yeah, I mean, I can't keep saying the same thing too much all the time, right? Anyways, for the bulls, if you missed it yesterday, we did see that the hash ribbons, I'll put it on the ribbons so you can see it. The hash ribbons finally did printed a buy signal, as you can see. So we are going to the moon. I'm just kidding. We are going to the moon. That's not true. But yeah, it did print a buy signal, which is once again fundamentally a very strong picture, right? That's a very positive thing that we get that. But yeah. Like I also said yesterday, even if we get a buy signal, it doesn't mean that we don't dump down like 5% or 10% or even a little bit more first before we pump towards the upside. Retail is dumping BTC to get into this. Yeah, of course, that's what has been happening quite substantially, and we can see it here on this chart. This is the NASDAQ divided by Bitcoin chart, and as we can see, this trend has been ongoing. That means that the money is flowing from the Bitcoin market cap into NASDAQ, into the stock market, which is normal, right? You will always want to be trading where you get the most money or the most profit, and it hasn't been very fun to be trading Bitcoin. So people, of course, are moving their investment or their money into something that is more profitable. But like I said, the biggest issue is the following, right? Everything is rallying right now. Everything is rallying in the stock market, and gold and silver and everything that you can think about is rallying. But Bitcoin has not really been rallying or breaking anything, and that doesn't bode well for when the rest of the market is going to have a pullback. Because if the rest of the market is going to have a pullback, then Bitcoin is going to have a stronger pullback towards the downside, right? Because it's a weaker asset, and that's basically what the problem is. Anyways, let's take a quick look on the on-chain on-chain inflow. And what I do want to say is that this morning at around 6 a.m. 2,781 Bitcoin actually was deposited or went into a an exchange. So are they going to be using those bitcoins to be longing or to be shorting? Who knows? But I'm just saying, that's a substantial amount of bitcoin that has been moved into an exchange. So I do believe that we will have some volatility this week, and most likely a conclusion of this triangle, right? So yeah, I still pretty much the same as for the past two weeks. So I want to make maybe this video a little bit shorter, on the shorter end. But yeah, let's wrap it up once more time for Bitcoin. I'm in a short right now from 9,350. I still am. It's possible that we still move up to like 9,380, 9,400 even. Yes, why not? It's very possible that we get a scam wick up there. But the question is, do we break this 9,450 and above this green box, yes or no? If it does happen, if we do close a candle above this green box, I'll be longing it, and most likely we'll be heading towards 9.8 or 9.9k even. But that still does not confirm the whole macro structure. As you can see, even if the price goes all the way up here, we are still basically in the middle of this whole channel here. So that in a macro perspective, it still does not change anything. We can still move up here and get dumped all the way back down there. That would be very painful for a lot of people, I would assume as well, if we move all the way to like 9.9k and then dump down and break the channel towards the downside. So that's definitely a scenario that you have to be keeping yourself in mind as well. So but yeah, I just take it day by day, and like I said, if it does move $300-400 towards the upside, I'll take it. I'll take it. But yeah, pretty much the same. Very risk management is very well defined, and on the other hand, yeah, if we start closing candles below this green box here, below this green box, then most likely we'll be at least going back down to 8.9k. If we break 8.9k, then really the floodgates will be opened, and we will most likely be breaking towards 8.5, 8.6k, and then maybe even more towards the downside, depending on how big the bounce is or how things evolve from there. But yeah, I think that's it for me today. Would I be surprised that we get another scam wick towards the upside? Not really. Would I be surprised that we get dumped down from here? Also not really. But yeah, we're still waiting for confirmation, and still waiting for this triangle to be resolved. And once it gets resolved, we can finally move on, and we can finally look at maybe some more interesting things. But for now, stuck in the range. A little bit, my bias is once again still more a pullback first before anything. But on the other hand, I would be okay with price going back up here, and then I can short it at 9.9k. That would be fun as well. But yeah, that's basically it. In a short right now, waiting to see what happens during the night and see how things go. If it breaks this zone, I mean, like I said, I think the risk is very well defined. So you can't go broke or anything like that, but you can get wrecked. At least I won't get wrecked if price does get pumped towards the upside. But other than that, yeah, boring days. But maybe tonight is the night, and maybe tonight we will see some heavy action, or it's going to be tomorrow. This like I said, this HMoka Cloud, yeah, it's so close. Can you smell it? It's so close. It's so close. Oh my god, it's so close. Anyways, yeah, I think that's it for today. Sorry guys, I know it hasn't been the most exciting streams and the exciting content or anything like that, but that's what trading is about. Sometimes you have to be extremely patient and wait for confirmation, wait for the market to tell you what it wants to do, and then we finally cash in, I hope, because Daddy needs to buy some new diapers. Okay. Anyways, hope to see you guys again tomorrow, same time, same place, 7:30 p.m. UTC +8. Please like, share, comment, and do whatever you want with this channel. And of course, until tomorrow, please stay home, stay safe, and of course, stay COVID free.